Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves for another journey through the Comedy Hour with your host, Len Belzer. The Comedy Hour, 60 minutes of non-stop laughter. And tonight, side-splitting comedy that's guaranteed to split your gut. The Comedy Hour, and it's all tonight and only on WLUP Chicago, AM 1000.
Well, I just went with a manager that's pretty exciting. I went with Goober Peters management.
Really?
A guy named Jeff Wald is managing.
Goober Peters, those are the people who put together Batman.
Right. They manage Yakov and Paul Rodriguez and Robert Wall. And I'm the fourth comedian they have. And I go in there, and the guy was hot on me, or, obviously he wouldn't have brought me in. And he's telling me this stuff, and he starts dropping these movies. Now, I don't know that these guys have produced these movies. I know that they manage some comedians, and I'm interested in it. And he says, we did Rain Man, Gorillas in the Mist, and I'm thinking, my man, yeah. Enough said. But then he tells me he has 4 Laker tickets on the floor. I said, are you kidding me? Of course. You can do whatever you want with me.
That's our special guest this week, Dom Irrera. I'm Len Belzer, and this is the Comedy Hour, brought to you by AT&T, the right choice.
The father of modern psychology was Sigmund Freud, a man who did enough cocaine to kill a small horse.
The conservatives are kind of in, and I get worried about that. What happened to separation of church and state? That gets me very nervous that people like this want to take sex education out of the schools. Reagan wanted to take it out. He said he believed sex education caused promiscuity. If you had the knowledge, you'd use it. Hey, I took algebra. I never do math.
There's so much more I want to give to you tonight. I really don't know where to begin, I tell you. I really want to leave you with something special. And frankly, I can't think of anything I've ever said that means enough. I think Cher said it best when she said, "Chastity, get in here."
That's Sandra Bernhard on her new album, Without You, I'm Nothing. Elaine Boozler and Robin Williams, each of them on the just-released album, The Best of Comic Relief 3. We'll hear great comedy from each of them, plus Bill Cosby, Monty Python, Alan Sherman. This week's standout stand-up, Gary Laser, caught live at Caroline's in New York City. And right now, here's a Steve Martin classic.
When you're with me, it's like being at Shakey's Pizza all the time, it's just... Way down upon the Swan. Oh, excuse me. Now I ask you very confidentially, way down upon the Swan. Okay. Can I have a little mood lighting on this, please? I'd like to do a thing now that's kind of a departure for me. It's kind of been more into these... It's mood lighting, like a blue spot or something. Hello? Nobody back there? That's okay. Thought there might be somebody back there. Okay, I guess I figured closing night, what the heck, doesn't make any difference. Kind of pissed off about this because it's been going on all week, and I think by now I have it under control. But I don't know, you see, this club has been in business about 5 to 6 years. It was first actually the Troubadour at first, and then it became the boarding house. And they still have a lot of hippies working here, and and I can understand the drug thing, and so they feel that it's more important to take the drugs than to do a good show for the people. I'm really up to here with this thing. It's just a matter that, I am on stage, and it's my house out here, you know what I mean? And I come out, and I'm giving, and I'm giving, and I'm giving, and I keep giving, and I give some more, and I make a simple request. I say, hey, could I possibly have a blue spot? But I guess the lighting crew feels they know a little bit more about show business than I do. business a few years, and I think I know what works best. I'm sorry, but I am angry. I come out here, and I can't get a little cooperation from the backstage crew. Excuse me.
Two simple words, but the way Steve said them in the late 70s had everybody trying to say them just the way he did. When we come back, we're going to hear Robin Williams on the Best of Comic Relief 3, the stand-up comedy of our special guest, Dom Irrera. Then we're going to talk with Dom, plus we'll hear Monty Python, right here on the funniest 60 minutes of the week, the Comedy Hour.
I'm Dom Irrera. I'm the special guest this week on America's funniest radio show, the Comedy Hour. And I'm coming up real soon, so stay tuned. Bada boom, bada bing.
Company.
More laughs a minute. More smiles per miles. The show that's guaranteed to put some pep in your step. The Comedy Show. I'm a Loop AM 1000.
I go into this punk rock bar, and this guy comes up to me. He's got a mohawk haircut. He goes, "Hey, want to dance?" I said, "No. We've had enough rain squatting bull."
I'm Len Belzer, and we are back on the Comedy Hour. Last week on our show, we had the world premiere of the album The Best of Comic Relief 3 from Rhino Records. We played performances given by Stephen Wright, Gary Shandling, and Paul Reiser at the Comic Relief concert last November. On this show, from that concert and on the album, we've got Robin Williams and Len Belzer. We're going to hear Robin right now and Len later in the show. Robin, my man, do your thing.
We raised enough money tonight, we're doing pretty well, but you realize as much money as we raised, a stealth bomber costs $1 billion. And hey, what is a stealth bomber? It's a bomber that doesn't show up on radar. You can't see it, so you don't need one. Here's what you do. Instead of building a stealth bomber, you just have to go out in the woods, spread some wreckage, and go, one of them crashed. Pretty soon the Russians are going, we better get one too. Then you can build a stealth Air Force, and a stealth Army, and a stealth Navy, and pretty soon you're not spending money anymore because we're $1 trillion in debt. Who do we owe this money to? Somebody named Vinny? Well, my money today, put in the bag. So maybe break your nuclear arms. But damn it. Don't you realize why we're having arms control now? It's a good thing. Peace. It's wonderful, but the truth is,
we're broke. The Russians are broke. It's like two junkies negotiating over a plastic spoon.
life's okay. And now you got Solomon Rushdie. And then there's the Ayatollah going, I think it is blasphemy.
No, I think it is blasphemy that you send children to a minefield, okay? Here's the strange thing.
But hey, we've got our own people right here just doing what they can. Remember the last temptation of Christ? There were people outside with signs going, this movie is not real.
Come here, Sparky.
No movie's real. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, hold on. And they have signs. They have big signs that say, you will not get into the kingdom of heaven. And I look at these geeks and go, are you going to be there? I'm not going. It ain't going to be me with you, no. Now, a movie like The Last Temptation of Christ is not. What is offensive about that? Nothing to me, except here's the fact that Jesus is always played by someone who looks like Ted Nugent, okay? You know, the strange thing is, it isn't even sex anymore. It's emotions, it's Freud, it's psychology. You have a relationship, you go to therapy, you work on it and find out, so my mom was a guy, so what? Now, wait a minute, you realize, wait. The father of modern psychology was Sigmund Freud, a man who did enough cocaine to kill a small horse. Yes, I used to do cocaine. I had a cocaine problem. It wasn't a problem. Everybody had it. It was okay. But I found something a lot more scary than cocaine. It's called Nintendo. Hey, listen, could you spare some money for Pac-Man? And then play it backwards. Play the Nintendo card. You put the cartridge in and play it backwards. It goes, we won the war. We won the war. We won the war. Wait! Do you realize if mankind had had cocaine at the dawn of civilization, we would have evolved in maybe 5-10 minutes. We'd still be in the cave going, I don't know what to do with this, though. If we had marijuana at the dawn of time, we'd be going, oh, fire. What it's about, dude? We have a hole in the ozone. This is not a good thing. This is not a slow leak. This is not something you can spackle over. You ever think that God might come back and go, who did this? Wait a minute. Whoop, whoop. All the animals are going, it's man. They did it. Kill them, wasn't us.
Robin Williams on the Best of Comic Relief 3 from Rhino Records, and that album should be in your record store just about now. We're going to hear Len Belzer on that same album later in our show. Our special guest this week is Dom Irrera. Dom has performed all over the tube on too many shows to mention. He's also an actor. He played the Hollywood Writer in Hollywood Shuffle, and you'll see him in the upcoming Tom Hanks movie, Joe versus the Volcano. We're going to talk with Dom very shortly, but first, let's listen to a bit of a stand-up comedy as he performed it recently on his HBO One Night Stand special.
So I'm living in L.A. now. I got L.A. and this is a beautiful city. You got the best city in the world here, and it's nice to be. I'm milking them. I'm milking them up here. I'm milking. It really is. It's so funny being in California. In L.A. they have these crosswalks. No light. You can walk out in the middle of the street, point to a car, and the car will stop. Hey, stop. You two, back up a little, will you, dudes? I lived in New York for 10 years. Imagine walking onto 8th Avenue. Yo, stop. The cab driver would back up so he could hit you harder. I'll show you stop. Go ahead, lady. Put that poodle out there. Well, anyway, I'm working in Fort Lauderdale. I was relaxed, 2 weeks, coming back on a plane. You know how nice everybody is on a plane because they're afraid they'll die? Excuse me, pardon me. No, you go ahead. Don't worry about me. As soon as we land, New York attitude. Pilot says, ladies and gentlemen, please remain in your seats till we get to the terminal. It's like, yeah, right. Everybody starts throwing their bags on the floor. We're down, baby, we're down. Stewardess flips out, comes running up the aisle. Please, against federal regulation, you have to sit down. When you sit down, I'm sitting there thinking, really, what could they do? What are they going to do, take off again? Okay, folks, you want to play games? We're up again. Now we'll show you turbulence. Hey, remember how to use those oxygen masks? We'll be good, oh God, please be down. Turbulence is frightening. I don't understand people that go to amusement parks. I spend most of my time trying not to be nauseous or dizzy. Excuse me, could you strap me in upside down? Yes, I'd like to be as sick as humanly possible. What is it? You wake up one morning, you go, you know, I feel great today. I really feel great. I think I'll go down to Funland and snap my neck on the back of a rod. Honey, let's bring the kids. We can get them a spinal cord injury for Christmas. Come on. Everybody I love, I want being shot through a tunnel in the dark 200 miles an hour. Come on. I don't like flying. The only thing cool about flying, it sounds cool. I gotta go because I'm jet now. Yeah, I'd like to stay, but I gotta go because I got a jet, babe. 3 different levels of transportation: jet, train, and bus. No way you can slick it on a bus. Here's my bus ticket. I'm on a bus. Can't eat, can't read, can't go to the bathroom. You know how romantic it sounds? Yeah, babe, I really love you. I'm jetting you to the coast. What are you going to say on a bus? I really dig you. I'm busing you to Buffalo. Here. Sit on a bus for 800 hours and bob, because I love you. I'm on a bus. You know what they have now? You know they have frequent flyers? Now they have frequent bus travel. After so many miles, you get a card. Can you imagine how pathetic your life would have to be to qualify for one of these prizes? Honey, we got the tickets in the mail, a trip around the world by You ever ask somebody for directions? You know you asked the wrong person, but you don't have the heart to walk away in the middle of a story that has nothing to do with anything?
You see that piece of straw in my skull? I was in a tornado, 200 miles an hour, drilled an 8-inch piece of straw right in my skull. Go ahead, try and pull it out. Bet you can. Go ahead.
Look, man, I don't want to pull the weed out of your head, all right?
Go ahead, put your feet up on my chest. You can't get it. Go ahead, swing from it. Go ahead.
I love goofing with bums on a street corner. A bum comes up to me. I like to turn to him, surprise. Hey, that's not fair. That's my act. I hate these guys who harass women on the streets. Where did they start this? Do they practice this at home? Hey, mommy, flip over those pancakes, will you? It's not even a compliment. Don't harass a bag lady, these guys. Hey, babe, I'd like to see what's under that third coat, huh? Coming out of my apartment, I see a guy standing in a big trash bin, big trash dumpster. Woman's walking by. He's going, hey, babe, how you doing? What's the matter, Mommy? You can't say hello? What are you, too good to talk to me, huh? Like she's supposed to walk over to the trash bin. Oh, hi. Is all this trash yours?
Dom Irrera on his recent HBO special. Dom is our special guest this week. Let's talk with him. Dom, it's great to see you. Welcome to the Comedy Hour.
Len, thanks. It's great to see you. Thanks for welcoming me to the Comedy Hour.
How are you?
It's a beautiful welcome. I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good.
Good.
You're performing at Caroline's this week.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going for you?
Well, ask me how I'm doing.
How you doing?
Killing. Thanks for asking. It's unbelievable. You know me, I don't brag, but I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. It's like God coming through me and being funny. It's unbelievable. Every comedian in the world.
I've always appreciated your humility about being a comedian. You look very casual. You got on running shoes, shorts, a yellow shirt with Groucho Marx's picture on it.
Yeah.
Dressed like a true comedian.
I know.
And sunglasses tilted up on your head.
It's the great thing about radio, huh?
You look like L.A. Do you live in L.A. now? I know you used to live in New York.
I live in L.A. But I've always been slovenly during the day, even when I lived in New York. Which didn't help for commercial auditions, if you know what I mean.
Now, in your act, you're well known for the very funny characters that you've created, and I've enjoyed them every time I've seen them, and everybody who enjoys you enjoys them. And I'm curious, how did some of those characters get invented? Tell us about them.
Funny you should ask, Glenn.
What an appropriate question.
I got a lot of them are just out of my life. I don't have any characters that... I don't do any characters like the beginning of my act. I do about 10, 15 minutes of characters. None of them are not somebody in my life. If that's good English.
None of them are not somebody in your life.
There's all of them are hey, let me get
There's
this.
a great double.
All of them are someone.
There you go.
All of them come from someone. One of the guy I opened with, the I Don't Do You guy, was a maitre d' at this place, Smith & Walensky's, which used to be Manny Wolf's.
Right, the steakhouse.
We're going down there one day to get jobs, my friend Bernie and I, and a Chinese cook from down at Montana Eves gave us Mary War was the name he gave us to go look for jobs. And we couldn't find Mary Wars. We were walking across the street and we went, you know what the Chinese cooks say, Mary War? And we both went, Mary War! So we went, oh, that's good. Anyway, I got a job there, changed to Smith & Walensky's, and Lino Romano was the maitre d', and he was one of those, I love your beautiful. He was like, his emotions were on a roller coaster, so he would be like, Irrera, you're such a beautiful boy. Why do you have to be so stupid? But I love you. You know, it's like, up and down. And he'd tell these endless stories. You know, the boys in Sicily, they died and they suffered, but then they danced and they laughed. And he was one guy, the Rudy Roo. You know those Rudy Roo? Remember that?
Sure,
characters?
I do.
Those guys I used to get wine from when I was like a teenager, 15 years old. Andy, the Rudy Roo guy, we had no idea what he was saying. Andy, get me a bottle of Thunderbird and a bottle of Screamin' Lucy. Well, you see, the Rudy Roo was down the red, and the red, and the mo, and the other old man would always say, I know what you mean. He was the only one that understood him. And so it's just, you know, a lot of them from my family, my uncles,
Yeah, now I understand. I've been reading all about you that you grew up with a multi-generational family in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And all these people were in your life as you grew up, and greatly influenced by your Catholic upbringing and schools and your family life and a lot of. And let me just add one more note here. I read that you knew.
I always knew I was going to do something like that. I was being punished in first grade, which I really enjoyed, and to this day, a little spanking. You know, I mean, is that so wrong? And I did something wrong in first grade. I forget, you know, making people laugh or talking. And the nun brought me up to the 8th grade. This was the first time I ever killed, Len. I brought her up to the 8th grade, like, to punish me. She says, "You think you're funny? Why don't you go up to the 8th grade and show them how funny you are?" So I did, and, like, they were all laughing and stuff. In the 8th grade, you know, those desks were, like, over your head. They looked like all giants, you know. And that was the first time I ever really did stand up. And that was, I think Jerry Stanley booked that room.
And you knew right then, well, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
I always knew that I was going to be, I didn't know I would exactly be a stand-up, but I always knew that I would do something that had to do with comedy. You know.
Our special guest this week, Dom Irrera. We're going to talk again with Dom a little later in the show. Right now, though, a report on the most dangerous sporting event ever.
And right now it's time for athletics, and over to Brian Goebbels in Paris.
Hello, well, you join us here in Paris just a few minutes before the start of today's big event, the final of the men's being eaten by a crocodile event. I'm standing now by the crocodile pit.
Well, I'm afraid we've lost Brian Goebbels, so while they're sorting that out, we have a report from Barry Lutz in Loughborough on the British preparations for this most important event. Here at Loughborough, the 5 young men chosen last week to be eaten by a crocodile for Britain this summer. Obviously, the most important part of the event is the opening 60-yard sprint towards the crowd, and 22-year-old Nottingham County coach Darren Warrilow is rated by some pundits not only the fastest but also the tastiest British morsel since Barry Gordon got a bronze at Helsinki. In charge of the team is Sergeant Major Harold Duke.
No, you know what you got to get in first. You got to get in first. And you I want to see you rot in there. Rub your head up with your tape bud. And when those teeth bite in your flesh, use the purchase that thrust yourself down his throat.
Duke's trained every British team since 1928, and it's his blend of gymnastic know-how, reptilian expertise, and culinary skill that's turned many an unappetizing novice into a crocodilic banquet.
Well, our chefs have been experimenting for many years to find a sauce most likely to tempt the crocodile. In the past, we've concentrated on a fish-based velouté sauce, but this year we're reverting to a simple béarnaise.
The British team are worried because Olympic regulations allow only the competitive... single Olympic standard mayonnaise. Gavin, does it ever worry you that you're actually going to be chewed up by a bloody great crocodile?
The only thing that worries me, Jim, is being the first one down that gully.
Well, the way things are going here at Loughborough, it looks as though Britain could easily pick up a place in the first 700. But nothing's predictable in this tough, harsh, highly competitive world where today's champion is tomorrow's. And back to you in the studio, Norman.
Norman's not here just now, Eric. I'm really sorry, but I'll fill in for him, okay? And thank you so much for that wonderful report on a truly exciting sporting event, being eaten by a crocodile. And our thanks to Mr. Monty Python for creating that event for all of us to enjoy. It's great, great fun seeing people eaten by crocodiles. We just love every minute of it. We really do. When we come back, we're going to hear Len Belzer on the best of Comic Relief 3. We'll talk again with our special guest, Dom Irrera. We'll hear Sandra Bernhardt on her new album, plus Alan Sherman with Hello Mudda, Hello Fada, right here on the show that guarantees to make you laugh or your money back, the Comedy Hour.
I'm Dom Irrera.
He said, you know, Judy, you'd have more respect for me if you knew what I did for a living. I said, so, what do? I am a criminal lawyer. I said, oh, not too redundant.
I'm Len Belzer, and we are back on the Comedy Hour. We heard Robin Williams earlier in our show on the best of Comic Relief 3 from Rhino Records. Now, from that same album, here's Len Belzer.
I don't know that music. I never had a show. They just took somebody else's music for me. I'm surprised we had to be here this year. I thought the Republicans were supposed to fix everything. But, oh, crime is so terrible. I live in New York. I have 6 locks on my door, all in a row. And when I go out, I only lock every other one. Because I figure no matter how long somebody stands there, picks the lock, they're always locking 3. Crime is frightening to me. I think men and women perceive crime differently, you know? A man gets mugged, he loses his watch or his wallet, that's about it. Women have other considerations to worry about. I'm walking in New York with my boyfriend last week. He says, gee, it's a beautiful night. Let's go down by the river. I said, what are you, nuts? I'm not going down by the river. It's midnight. I'm wearing jewelry. I'm carrying money. I have a with me. I'm not going down. Tomorrow I'll leave it in my other pants, then we'll go down. I did say the word boyfriend, didn't I? Boyfriend. There's no good word about someone if you're not married. If you just live with a boyfriend, makes you sound 11. Doesn't it? There's no good word, you know? I mean, you're old man. If you're not living with Willie Nelson, that one doesn't work. It's hard to introduce him. I just say, hi, this is my person who thinks he loves me. He can't make a commitment. He was married a long time ago. The divorce wasn't that nice. He split the house and building. They have kids. Very hard to live with another human being. If you're married or you live with someone, I think there is one thing that you say all day and all night that drives you crazy. And you have to say it. There's one thing you say all the time in that house. You know what I think it is? I think it's, what? What? You're deaf. You mumble. What? I don't mumble, stupid. I heard that. Oh, that you heard. This was a very hard year politically. Nobody to vote for. I think we all came out and voted against. And, oh, boy, it was hard. I don't know. The conservatives are kind of in, and I get worried about that. What happened to separation of church and state? That gets me very nervous that people like this want to take sex education out of the schools. Reagan wanted to take it out. He said he believed sex education caused promiscuity. If you had the knowledge, you'd use it. Hey, I took algebra. I never do math. Bush is against abortion. They said, how come? He said, because birth is a miracle. Popcorn's a miracle if you can't figure out how it happened. Bush is amazing. He's against abortion, but for capital punishment. Spoken like a true fisherman. Throw them back, kill them when they're bigger. Religion out of government. All people are pretty much the same anyway. There's no difference. The only difference between Catholics and Jews is that Jews are born with guilt and Catholics have to go learn it in school. That's all. I was amazed when they put Dan Quayle up for vice president. My goodness. They said, well, there's a big gender gap. We have to appeal to women. So they pick a guy who has voted against every woman's issue forever, but they choose him. Why? Because he's handsome. Because he's handsome. Like every woman in America thinks like a bowling alley waitress, huh? Oh, I know he's a but I love him anyway. We had another banner year of the bimbo this year. Let's see, who is it this year who gets the Jessica Hahn Award? Oh, the Wade Boggs woman. Oh, please, go away. Stop cluttering up the airwaves. Leave room for comics. You know, the guy was married. She knew it. Leave the guy alone. I hope you have a great year, Wade, because I'm on your side. And, you know, these women come out and tell people's business, and it's so awful. They think they have so much to say. If they had that much to say, how come they have to appear nude in order to get people to read what they have to say, you know?
I have a very important story to tell, and I'm naked in the next issue. I
I think we should pass a new law. Let's just have a new law, okay? This is it. Nobody can get famous just being naked or sleeping with a celebrity. You have to make a contribution to society first. That's the new law. That should be it, you know? I mean, you have to do something first. We can still have Playboy, you can still be naked, but do something that counts. You know, I just developed a vaccine, and I'd like to show my breasts. Go ahead, you've earned it. Thank you, give money, thanks for coming. Good night.
Len Belzer performing last November at the 3rd annual Concert for Comic Relief. And we're hearing that performance on the newly released album from Rhino Records, The Best of Comic Relief 3. If you'd like to make a donation to Comic Relief, a great charity, you can call 1-800-528-1000. That's 1-800-528-1000, Comic Relief. Our special guest this week is Dom Irrera. Let's pick up our conversation with him at the point where we were discussing both his acting and his stand-up comedy. Speaking of acting and stand-up comedy, you once said in an interview with the Boston Evening Sun, May 24th, 1989 at 3:30.
Chicago, July 4th. Elliot Ness.
Right. You said, my stand-up was a supplement to my acting because it was easier. You can be a really good actor and not make a living, and you can be a really terrible stand-up and make a pretty good living.
Well, you know that.
I mean, was that the way it happened, that you were originally destined to be an actor, and then you said, I want to make a few bucks, I'll do stand-up?
Yeah, what happened to me, actually, the real thing that really got me really into stand-up was I was up for Saturday Night Live, and I didn't have an agent or anything, and I kept passing auditions. I kept writing things. This was 1980, the year of that cast that just that fizzled, except Murphy and Piscopo came out of it, you know. But the thing that I saw was that these stand-up comedians, Gilbert Gottfried, these guys, they had all kinds of exposure in the city. Casting people just knew them and went to see them because they had a showcase every night. Whereas actors, it was like a big production just to work for free, you know? So, and I knew that I could do stand-up, and I didn't have any act, but I had already been doing improvs for years, so I could be funny. By the time I got to do stand-up, I was already funny on stage, but I didn't have an act. So the worst thing for me was, like, I couldn't do the Tonight Show for sure, but I could do 10 minutes at Catch, you know? So, but that was really what got me in, and then I got hooked on it, but I really got into it as exposure for my acting.
That's very interesting. And speaking of acting, you're going to be doing a film with Tom Hanks very soon.
Yeah, we're doing, which is really weird, you know, it's like, I have a part of a Polynesian tribal member. Now,
Really?
Yeah, all my lines are like in gibberish. I don't have...
Have you started work on this film?
No, next Wednesday I go out there. But it's like so strange because I have a lot of weeks shooting. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I think I'm going to be like dancing and stuff. Like Abe Vigoda is the head of the tribe.
One we just say real quick for our listeners. The name of this movie, as I understand, is Joe versus the Volcano.
Joe versus the Volcano, and it's a much bigger movie than I thought. You know, I heard it was Tom Hanks. I thought it was big. John Patrick Shanley is the director and the writer, the guy who did Moonstruck.
Right.
And he's a real New York kid too. And as I knew, once I went in the office with him, and he ended one of his stories. Yeah, well, I did it, you know, bada boom, bada bing. He was like one of these guys. And I figured, well, I got a shot at this movie. And it's his first directorial thing. But the producer, is Steven Spielberg. So I look at the script, you know, and still, like, I mean, sometimes it's hard to get impressed in some areas. Then you see, like, the script, and I went, Steven Spielberg, oh, God. Whoa. You know, I really didn't know it, you know. But Abe Vigoda is the head of the tribe. I'm a Polynesian villager. And Nathan Lane, who's a very good Broadway actor, he's one of these guys that he was in like all kinds of things here. He was in Merlin and all. And him and I are two tribal members. And I was shooting a couple weeks in Hawaii, and then I go back to LA for a week.
What's the movie about? You know?
I don't know. I didn't read it. I got to read the script on the plane, just like every lazy person does on the way out there.
You also said in that same interview that you avoid doing, we were talking now about your stand-up. You said in that interview that you avoid doing political material.
Unless I think it's really funny, you know. I try not to do, you know what, I want to say this since your brother is a good comedian, terrific comedian. One thing I do avoid is going in the room a lot and watching comedians, because one of the things I noticed when I came to New York, I had never seen stand-up. And Len's brother, Richard Belzer, is a guy who's really, really imitated. And I thought that I'm not going to watch people because I came to New York and I heard this rhythm. And then I saw Richard and I thought, there's the source of it. You know? And I thought, well, I'm not going to do that. So if you see me, hopefully I'll not remind you of anybody. I mean, all of us learn from each other, but, you know, I thought, geez, this is good. You know, all these people going, blah, 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 Sparky, and you know how Richard's rhythm is.
Right.
And I thought, you know, I'm not going to do that, you know. I'm going to try and get my own path.
Our special guest this week, Dom Irrera. Not long ago, we had the world premiere of Sandra Bernhard's double album from Enigma, Without You I'm Nothing, from her one-woman show. Let's listen to a selection from that album now entitled White Christmas.
I mean, there was something really great about growing up in a liberal, intellectual Jewish household with three sensitive older brothers. But there were times, I have to admit, that I really got caught up in the romance of being Gentile, especially around Christmas time. I would fantasize that I had an older brother named Chip and a little sister named Sally, and my name would either be Happy or Buffy or Babe. One of those big sexy blondes who plays a lot of volleyball. Yes, spike it, babe! All right! Yes! And every Christmas Eve, my mom would make a glazed ham with cloves sticking out of it and a hot canned fruit compote. After dinner, we'd sit around the piano, my mother in a beautiful burgundy velveteen dress with a lace collar, my father with his sleeves rolled up, smoking a pipe, his golden lab at his side, and we'd sing Christmas carols. La, 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 la. Chip would harmonize. La, 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 la. Then we'd get ready for midnight church services. We'd sit together, our arms around each other in the pew. My father would donate 10% of his income as they passed the basket by. So proud to be a part of Christian society. Back home, I remove what little makeup I need to wear with Clinique products. And slip into a flannel lamb's nightgown, staring at the snowfall, dreaming of all the Christmases past and all the Christmases to come when I'd have a family of my own. And like every Christmas Eve, Chip would come in. Oh God, Chip, you are so cute. I wish you weren't my brother so I could you. Honey, I bought you the coolest Christmas present, so you're gonna die. It's so neat. What's wrong, honey? You seem sad. It's Christmas. I don't know, babe. I've been doing some thinking. It's my last year of high school, and I want to do really great on the SATs and get into a good college and play football. I'm kind of worried Mom and Dad might break up. Honey, you're too sensitive. That's not going to happen. Sally, is that you outside that door, you little If it is you, I will kill you, and you won't get your Christmas present. Oh, God, Chip, I hate her. Ah, she's all right, babe. She's just a little girl. Mom comes in a robe and furry slippers. What are you two kids up to? Can I tell you how darn proud I am of the two of you? Tonight in church, babe, in that Laura Ashley dress, you are stunning. And thanks for helping me in the kitchen. Don't know what I'd do without you, kitten. Chip, you've turned into such a fine young man, but what is with that hung dog look on your face tonight, mister? I don't know, Mom. I'm just really scared you and Dad are going to get divorced. Oh, no, no, no. Not us. Not the Jensens. We're not going anywhere. Oh, sure, your father may be going through a little bit of a midlife crisis, but I worship him, and I adore you kids. You've both been under so much pressure lately. What with the cotillion coming up, babe? Get some sleep. Grandma's coming over real early. We have some terrific presents to open, and may visions of sugar plums dance in your heads. You're never too old to hear that, kids. Sweet dreams. Love ya.
Sandra Bernhard on her new album, Without You I'm Nothing. And now, for all you boys and girls listening to us from summer camp, here's a song from Alan Sherman I think you'll appreciate.
Granada, Camp Granada. Blah. Camp Granada, and I'm writing you this letter just to say my compound fracture's getting better. No one here knows where my trunk is, and my bunk is where the skunk is. And this here, the food's improving, 'cause the little black things in it are not moving. Our camp nurse is quite a swimmer. She says swimming makes you slimmer. Her name's Mrs. Pellegrini. Have you ever seen a whale in a bikini? All our bathrooms have such thin doors. Gee, I wish they'd move them indoors. We're all tired of Mother Goose here. So next Friday night they're having Lenny Bruce here. Let me stay, oh mata mata, let me stay. I love Granada every night. The campfire's really keen. Oh ma, please send some unguentine. Let me stay up here in Mother Nature's land and tiptoe through the tulips. Grand to leave would be a shame. Besides, I'd miss the poker game. Please don't worry, Fata Mata, I'll take care of little brother. He plays ball here and he rows here, and I hope they teach him how to blow his nose here. He wakes up at 6:30 and goes directly to the quicksand. He was lonely, now he's better. He's like all of us, except his bed is wetter.
Alan Sherman with the biggest hit of his career back in the summer of 1963. And now it's time for Beth Bacall with the Discover Card Comedy Billboard.
Thank you, Len. Steve Harvey will be in Cleveland, Ohio, August 2nd through the 7th at Hilarities. Frank Santorelli will be in Oak Brook, Illinois, August 2nd through the 5th at Catch a Rising Star. Marty Plintz will be in...
Oops. You don't want to see any of those clowns anyway, now do you? Why, you can hear them right here on the next hour of the Comedy Hour. Right here on the Loop AM 1000 Chicago. WLUP Chicago. The Loop AM 1000.
He said, let's go out once. What do you say we go out once? I said, well, to tell you the truth, I was looking for someone a little closer to the top of the food chain.
I'm Len Belzer, and we are back on the Comedy Hour. This week's trivia question: what comedian, after being left back in the 10th grade, dropping out of high school, then later dropping out of college, went on to earn a PhD in education? The answer? The guy we're going to hear next, performing in 1971 in Las Vegas. Here he is.
We want to welcome you to the International Hotel. It's nice to see you. I'm just looking you over. Look good. How old are you? Come on. 15? Where are these people? How are they getting into this midnight show here? The Filth Show. Didn't anyone tell you this is our Filth Show? That's why you're here. Your father hasn't spoken to you about filth yet? Yeah? And that's why you're here. I see. You want to learn more filth. Yeah. Well, you'll never learn nothing here. Open your Bibles to page 7. Where are you from? Lancaster. Oh, yeah? Okay, not far from my hometown. Philadelphia. Getting back to the other thing. People in this hotel are very, very nice. They've just been groovy cats. Everybody here has. They gave me a suite here, you know. A big-time suite. Oh, yeah. Weird, though. Weird sleep. They got a mirror over my bed. No, I swear there's a big mirror over my bed. And I looked, I said, well, wait a minute. And I was uneasy going to sleep. I had a feeling the pit boss was watching me. Weird, man. When I sleep, I toss and turn and everything, man. I woke up in the morning like this, you know, and looked up. Gee, I thought it was a naked skydiver coming at me. But it's fun, though, when you have a mirror over your bed. You can watch yourself get in the bed. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. I'm used to it now. Everyone, I look at myself. But I don't know what it's there for. I really don't. I have no idea. It's silly to have a mirror over your bed. You gonna shave in bed? What the hell are you gonna watch? All I know is from the way I get a broken neck trying to watch. And Camille's virgin Catholic. I know she ain't peeking.
Doctor of Education, Bill Cosby, back in 1971. And now it's time for this week's Standout Stand-Up, Gary Laser. After studying theater at New York University, Gary hit the Big Apple comedy scene and quickly became a top performer at all the best clubs in town. Robert Klein saw Gary and liked him enough to have him on his USA cable network show, Klein Time. Since then, Gary has performed across the country in every major comedy club. We caught Gary Laser live at Caroline's in New York City.
So I grew up in a strange family. My father used to be a grocery store manager. Every time I wanted to talk to me, it was, Gary up front, please, Gary up front. Hey, Dad, where's my bathing suit? Aisle 3, son, aisle 3. 31 years. I'm 31 years old. You can tell you're getting old when you start pulling muscles and you don't do anything. I'm pulling muscles in sporting goods departments. How much is that basketball? Ow. I'll be back. I'm afraid to go to the doctor because stuff starts to happen to you as you get older. You know, like if my teeth hurt, I'm afraid to go to the dentist. Because when you're a kid, you went to the dentist. I was like, oh, Gary, you just have a little cavity. Now I'm afraid I'm going to go to the dentist. Doc, my teeth hurt. Mr. Laser, you have skull cancer. We're going to have to move your whole jaw. You know, I'll walk around with a lump the size of a baseball on the back of my neck. I won't go, okay, I'll go to the hospital. I won't check in. I'll ask the lady behind the gift counter. Ever seen one of these suckers before? Really? Don't touch me. But 31, my mom still sends me clothes. Clothes I'll never wear. She has the worst taste in the world. She always calls me up and goes, hey, Gary, getting a lot of use of those 10 velour shirts I sent you? Yeah, Ma, the car's real nice and shiny now. I did something. I fell down in public. You know, when you trip up a curb and you just go, you know, and you're never alone. There's always, I don't know, maybe 1,000, 2,000 people there to witness it. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter how badly you hurt yourself. You always get up and go, I'm all right. I'm okay. Don't worry about me. Then you walk around the corner, there's a bone sticking out of my shin. I wish somebody called an ambulance. I'm paralyzed from the waist down. I can't move. Oh, my God. Now, I know this is sick, and I think you'll agree. When I see someone do that, my first reaction is to laugh hysterically. You know, you see him fall, it's like, are you all right? We got this sick side to us. I don't know what it is. It's like when I pass a bad automobile accident, and I sit there and go, oh, my God, that's horrible. Oh. Is that the dead guy there? You think, you know, you want to know. I don't like to go to hospitals. I hate to go to hospitals. I hate walking down those hallways. Why? Because I don't want to look in those other rooms, but I feel compelled to look in those other rooms. I'll be, well, I don't want to look. I don't want to look. I don't want to look. Oh, great. You know, I just saw some guy's butt hanging on one of those hospital gowns. Just what I was trying to avoid. I am going home. I have to go home. I just hate to fly. I have to fly a lot. It gets to me. You know, my favorite form of transportation is walking. Just walking. They tell you how to do it. You stand on a curb. It's walk. There's a sign right there. Okay. Don't walk. Sometimes I picture a guy going like this. What is that for? In case you're on the corner alone and you forget how to walk? Is that this? Good thing that thing was there. Okay, it's coming back to me now. It's coming back to me now. Do I move my arm? But forget flying. I'm petrified. You know, and I have to have a cigarette coming out of every orifice in my head when I fly. And now they don't let you smoke on planes, you know? How much you want to bet on that Aloha airline, you know, the one where the roof blew off there? How much you want to bet as soon as that roof blew off, every smoke on that plane went? So okay if I light up now? I think there's enough. Thank you. Nice day. Yeah, good. You know, I just have to be so heavily sedated before I get on a plane. If that little oxygen mask did pop down, I'd be like, you know, I'd be using it as a party hat. Hi, we're going down. Yeah, good thing they have oxygen on an airliner, because as I'm just about to slam in the side of a mountain, I want to be able to breathe. That's my first priority, to have that breathing thing. I don't want to miss a second of that crash. What if my little oxygen thing is not working? Am I going to complain to the stewardess? Excuse me, ma'am. Bing, 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 bing. I know we're losing 10,000 feet per second, but I'm not getting the full effect of this oxygen in here. Because see, right before I hit the ground, I want to take that one last big deep breath, because I want to be that much more combustible when I hit the ground, all right? Right before I hit the ground, I want to fill my lungs up, because I want to find my leg in some cow pasture somewhere, all right? This is a true story. I was reading where a plane came within 500 feet of the ocean surface. Why? Because the pilot accidentally turned off the engine. Oh, is that what happened? The pilot... This is not like missing an exit, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I mean? You know, I'm a passenger on the plane. You sort of get used to the hum of the engine in the cabin, you know? Oh, I got a little quiet in here, didn't it? They came within 500, and they get it restarted. It must have been flooded or something. I have the key to the accelerator going, come on, baby, turn over. One time, come on. Now look, if I come within 500 feet of the ocean surface, let me die, okay? Because on the way down, you're going, honey, I slept with your sister. No, I didn't, you know. You guys been fun. Thank you. Good night now. Bye-bye.
This week's Standout Stand-Up, Gary Laser. That's our show for this week, brought to you by the Discover Card for people who expect value. Our thanks to our special guest, Dom Irrera. I'm Len Belzer for MJI Broadcasting, inviting you to join us again next week for another new edition of America's funniest radio show, The Comedy Hour. Until then, have a great 7 days.